Learning from our mistake, they say, experience is the best teacher. But if I should have my way, I would rather learn from other people's experience than the other way around. And I believe you share the same sentiment with me. So on today's video, I'm going to share with you 7 things I wish I had known before starting poultry farming. So stay with me. I'll be right back. My name is Uncle Samuel from poultryfarmguide.com. On this channel, I share helpful tips and guides to help you set up your poultry farming and scale it up. Come back. On today's video, I'll be sharing with you 7 things I wish I had known before starting a poultry farm. But before then, if you want to get update on our day-old chicks for laying, we'll be brooding our day-old chicks for laying. So I've made a video for 1 week summary of how far we have gone. You can check the video up here at the end of this video. So without no further ado, let's get to the business of today. First thing I will do before starting a poultry farm, I'll get a proper training. Every other effort depends on how well you have acquired the knowledge or skill in poultry farming. Without proper training, you can't identify a sick bird. You won't know the kind of food to give them at different ages and stages. You can't vaccinate, you can't give them medication. So every other activity acquired skill in poultry farming. How can you acquire this skill? You can register online, you can attach yourself to an experienced farmer. We take you as an apprenticeship, then you work for him or her while you learn, or you pay someone to just teach you on a daily basis while you just come around the farm, learn along, pay the person to put you through. So please ensure you acquire a proper training before entering into poultry farm. Secondly, get your bird from a trustworthy supplier. Some supplier gets their chickens from hatchery that has low quality control. The hygiene of that factory is poor, so the bird will be contaminated as well as the chicks, the upstream. So please do well to ask or do a background check before buying your chicks, any supplier around you, and make sure the distance between your farm and the chicks is not too far. Most of us buy birds from very far away suppliers, and this might take about 3, 8, 10 hours depending on the distance. And most of the time, the transporting equipment is not conducive for the bird for such a long hour. So before the birds arrive, before the bird might have arrived, most of them have gotten weak and even died long during the journey. So do ensure you get your bird from a supplier that is closer. Ensure the birds are well vaccinated. If there is any vaccine they should give the birds in the hatch, ask of it if they have given the birds those vaccines before you take your bird, and also ensure to count your birds as well. The third one, get a proper housing system. If you get a proper housing system, your bird will do very, very well. Ensure there is enough ventilation in both sides. A proper poultry house should have side ventilation from both sides of the house, so that there will be cross ventilation of airflow. Air will enter through one side and leave through the other side. The distance between the floor and the roof should be at least 8 feet for broilers. 8 feet for broilers. While in a big hall for layers cage, the top should be very high and have another airspace for ventilation as well. So make sure you have a good housing system. Make sure your biosecurity are in place. Have a good brooding house where the bird can stay. If you tend to brood your birds from day old to the point you want to 3 weeks when you will release them from the brooding house. Make sure all these things are in place before you venture into poultry farming. Poor housing can cause spread of diseases, overcrowding, which can lead to cannibalism. Birds is eating one another, which is very bad in poultry farming. Now, the other point I would like to make again is don't compromise feeding. Most of us we want to compromise the feed we give to our birds so that we can maximize profits. We want to cut costs and maximize profits, which is aim of every business man or woman. You don't do that in poultry, especially with broilers. You don't try to give your broilers low quality feed and expect them to do well. Most people complain most of the time their broilers are not big. If you get a good bird, a good breed, and feed your bird very well with quality rich food, your broiler will attain the desired weight at the expected time. So there's no need of giving your broiler growth promoter and some booster and all that. It's not necessary. Once you get the correct birds and give them quality feed, your broilers will do well. Professional farmers knows this and they don't bother themselves about where can I get booster and growth promoter and chemical to give your bird and all that. That is unhealthy. Yeah? So proper feed, constant feeding, good feeding and schedule, and your bird will just do perfectly well. The fourth one is hygiene and health, hygiene and biosecurity. When it comes to poultry farming, biosecurity cannot be overlooked. Biosecurity involves keeping the birds safe from external factors that could harm them, like diseases and predators as well. So before you enter your farm, in a big farm, you always have a food bath where you dip your feet, sanitize your hands, or put on farm clothes, because most of the germs in our body, which is not harmful to us, can be harmful to your chickens. So you should do well to follow these processes. It can be tiresome at times, but to be at a safer side, I prefer being consistent with these procedures every now and then instead of curing diseases. Prevention is better than cure, any day, anytime. Another one I would like to talk about is poor spacing and overcrowding. Spacing for birds of different kinds is different. Spacing for broiler is not the same as what spacing requirement for layers. Laying birds require more space for them to lay their eggs. So for broiler, you'll be having something like 0.75 square feet to maturity, while for layers, you'll be having about 1.5 square feet per layer. The next one is stocking beyond your financial strength or manpower. Some people will try the first time, their first trial, they'll make a lot of gain and they want to stock more, they want to triple, they want to gain more and make more profit. They'll bring in more birds without thinking how are they going to feed these birds in terms of their feed and other medication. And as times goes on, so they cannot feed this bird again because they did not make preparation, feeding and other expenses. So most of the time they will tend to cut costs to, instead of giving the birds 100 grams, they will give the bird 50 grams of feed a day, which will affect the productivity and output of the birds. And again, if you have 2 workers that can take care of 500 birds comfortably, get 500 birds, not 1,000 or 800, because their manpower cannot withstand such number of birds, and the efficiency will reduce, which will also affect your productivity at the end of the day. So next time you stock birds that is within your manpower and financial capability. The last but not the least is putting production before marketing. You get your birds, you get your feed, everything, and you go into production. And in the end, 2 weeks to maturity or slaughtering time, you're wondering, how can I sell my bird? Where can I sell my birds? Which market will I take my birds to? By then, it might be too late to make such plan. So my advice is always consult your marketers, your buyers, consumers, before going into production. At least have a 70 to 80% assurance of those people you sell your bird immediately they get to point of slaughtering. Yeah? Even be it egg or chicken meat, broilers, have a target customer that you sell your birds to, so that you'll not be stranded at the end of production. You can market your bird via social media. We have WhatsApp, we have Facebook, we have can do email marketing as well. There are so many means you can market your bird. You can use words of mouth. I've written some article, 10 steps or 10 fast ways to easily sell your broilers chicken. So there are so many ways you can market your birds. Apart from words of mouth, you can visit schools, churches, prisons, restaurants, hotels. Just strike a deal with them. Tell them, look at what you do, look at the number of birds you can bring to them. out of 10 or 20 persons you meet, at least half of it might call you at the end of the day. Then 1/4 of it might buy from you. So spread your tentacles more when marketing, so that you will get more prospects at the end of production. So I'll just leave 4 secrets to just get more or advertise your birds. If you have a community leader, you can just benevolently tell the community leader you have a farm, take some of your product there, your card, free birds or chicken or egg, just give it to them. Do this thing with the community leader, with the principal, head of proprietor and proprietress in your vicinity, in your area, of schools, counselors, women leaders, youth leaders. Meet them, give them free eggs or chickens, give them your complimentary card, tell them what you do, and you see wonders. You begin to get called unexpectedly for your birds. So do these things and you thank me later for these tips. Okay, I think this is where I come to the end of this video. If this is your first time of watching my video, please subscribe, like this video to help promote this video to other people who also need this advice as well. Click the notification bell so to be notified on my next video. So my subscribers, thank you for always watching my video. You are the best. I'm ensuring that you get the best poultry farming experience on this channel. So keep up the good work. I love you all. See you next time on my next video. Bye bye.